Hey everybody, Dirili here. Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of Tengu Otogi Zoushi along Chitose's route. I think we have enough to make one more video with him. The man proposed to us, trying to take us away from Yamabuki, and yet he knows that he's dying. Why is he doing this to us? Why do you want to make us a widow? Maybe he just wants to enjoy the married life before he passes away. Or then again, I mean, he's 1,000 years old. Maybe soon means another 100 or 200 years. Longer than our lifespan, at least. Let's see exactly what he means, if I can go that far. Because like I said, you know, I can't do the endings. Let's see what knowledge we can glean. You can just sit back, relax, and let me read you a story.
16 years ago, the monks of Nyakuji invaded Hiei Mountain and killed the former Hiei Tengu.
Killed? But why?
To obtain the territory. Hiei Mountain was an attractive location for them. The Tengu was an obstacle.
Didn't the other Tengu help him?
Guardian Tengu shall not interfere with others. It is the code.
What? Really? They can't help each other? Chitose-san glanced at me and gave a bitter laugh.
The Guardian Tengu has his kin. However, the humans were too many. His kin were killed one by one. Finally, it was only him and 2 young great Tengu remaining.
There was another Tengu besides Kohaku-san?
The other changed mountains to Hira Mountain and calls himself Hira Tengu.
Why didn't Kohaku-san go with them?
Guardian Tengu are supposed to guard their mountain all their life. Hira Tengu gave up, but the boy didn't.
So Kohaku has more honor. Kohaku-san was going to die together with the former Hiei Tengu.
When I found him, he looked like he would die any moment.
He narrowed his blue eyes and talked in a flat tone as if he were recalling those memories.
Now he lives with me here on Otago, but I see him gazing toward Hiei Mountain from time to time.
Such a story. If Chitose-san didn't save him, Kohaku-san might have been dead. I can now understand why Kohaku-san was mad when he first saw me.
The Hiei Mountain has no god now. The day the mountain was taken, it is said that the god disappeared.
That means it might be somewhere else?
That would be very nice.
Chitose-san looked at me and smiled. Hey, I'm back. As he finished talking, Kohaku-san returned. Oh, welcome back.
Welcome back, Kohaku.
Kohaku-san gave me a dubious look. Still doubting me, eh? What's wrong with you? What's wrong with me? What's wrong with you? How was it outside? No signs of the fox. He couldn't come close to Otago Mountain.
The fox himself is injured. He would stay down for a couple days.
I see. I sighed in relief. Forgive me if I'm off track, but are my spiritual powers really that strong? What makes you ask all of a sudden? Was Kohaku the only one that can't tell? I'm not really sure if I have the powers you say I have.
Your spiritual powers are outstanding, yet you only have the ability to see. Akashi would think you're a magnificent beast without the powers to protect herself.
Although through proper training, you could possess stronger power than some Myoji or monks. I want to do that! Train me! Kohaku-san nodded to Chitose-san's words. Would my child have strong spiritual powers?
Half Ayakashi, but you're actually very special.
What does that mean? Chitose-san made a thoughtful move and opened his mouth.
Are you two ready to know the truth?
I couldn't answer that question. Oh, what? Is it so difficult?
Take this seriously. What do you think?
I want to know. So I guess we're going to actually get to see Kohaku's reaction in this, not just in his own storyline. Me too. Chitose-san slightly smiled.
This will be long.
Okay. Just go on, will ya? I sat straight as Kohaku-san shoved his chin.
It depends on the mountain, but the mountain loses its powers and goes into sleep at fixed intervals. That's when a Tengu dies.
How many times do we have to repeat that? When the Guardian Tengu approaches the end of his lifespan, he prays to God to give birth to the next Tengu, and raises him, right? Kohaku-san gave a breath from his nose, as if to say he was bored with this story. The next Tengu is born when you pray to God, right? Then is it necessary to make me your wife?
Well, the mountains are becoming weak recently. To protect the mountain, more Tengu make children with human women.
Wait, so can I give birth to the next one and then you don't have to pass away? You said it was very special, but why?
The fox is after the power that you possess.
Not the Kenki power?
16 years ago, the monks of Renrakuji invaded Hiei Mountain and killed the former Hiei Tengu.
Ugh! Chitose-san said in a low voice, and Kohaku-san's face clouded. And the Tengu that were left behind was Kohaku-san and another Tengu, right? My brother switched mountains, now calls himself the Hira Tengu. Kohaku-san answered, his eyes down on the floor. Kohaku-san, wounded and down, was saved by Chitose-san. The day Hiei Mountain was taken, the mountain god disappeared. Kohaku-san said with a serious face.
So now we get to the main story. Sumire, how old are you?
I froze, confused. Chitose-san deepened his smile. I'm 16.
Indeed, you are 16.
So, what? Kohaku-san startled and stared at me in surprise. Anything wrong? Chitose, are you... Kohaku-san asked Chitose-san with his eyes locked on me.
You should feel nostalgic towards her.
No. What is it? Kohaku-san stared at me, his lips trembling.
Your spiritual powers are different from that of a human.
I am human.
I'll say this straight. You have inside your body the aura of the god of Hiei Mountain.
I'm father and mother's daughter! I put my hand on my chest and yelled out, but Chitose-san deepened his smile even further. It was overwhelming, even more than his strict face.
The god away from the mountain chose your mother with you already inside her body.
I heard my mother had strong spiritual powers just like me. Father said that I could see things because I inherited those powers.
You were chosen to be the vessel of God.
You're saying I'm the vessel of the god of Hiei Mountain?
That's right.
God's aura can never be put inside a human body. Kohaku-san leaned forward and yelled. He's right! I don't believe it!
That's why your mother died when she gave birth. She couldn't withstand God's aura.
If that was true, Mother sacrificed her life for me. Oh no! The god of Hiei Mountain inside of me? I felt my face going pale.
The fox thinks breeding with you will give birth to an even stronger Ayakashi.
He said that Fox Ayakashi are getting fewer and fewer.
He must have been behind it when you were spirited away 10 years ago.
Asahi-san left me in Kurama Mountain?
You must have unconsciously released divine aura to escape, and landed in Kurama.
That did make sense. 10 years ago I was spirited away after seeing blue balls of flame. I found myself in Kurama Mountain, wandering through the mountain until Yamabuki found me. Knock it off with the crap! Kohaku-san stood up and yelled at Chitose-san.
Hiei God is in Sumire. You know this very well.
Kohaku-san's face twitched. Damn! Yeah, you just slide off the screen there, buddy. Kohaku-san? Kohaku-san jumped outside.
Oh, what a troublesome boy.
Chitose-san sighed and looked at me. I have to go find him. How? You can't fly.
He's not a child. He needs to think alone.
Chitose-san made a slight smile and shook his head. I can't believe I'm the vessel. I don't want to be a vessel.
I would think so as well. After all, you only have Kenki powers.
Chitose-san slowly crossed his arms. I wish I could use powers to protect myself. I stared at my hands and said,
You want to control the power of God?
I'm tired of people getting hurt because of me.
That's very fine, but God's power is too strong for humans.
But like this, I'll be kidnapped again.
You should actually stay here in my protection, rather than in the mansion.
But you're dying soon. Teach me how to control my powers. I want to fight. Chitose-san sighed, frowning. Let's see. I have to say I want to be with my family. I don't. I want to be with him. I don't want to be with my family. But this is the choice that must be made. I want to stay with my family. Chitose-san made a bitter laugh to my answer.
I know how you feel.
Am I selfish? Yes.
No, you're right. If you were to say you wanted to return for the dance, I would have been disappointed.
The dance is important, but I can't make up my mind to be apart from Father. Yeah, that's the hard part, is being away from your family if you're close. If I stayed in the mansion, Asahi-san might come again.
I won't force you to make the decision. And besides, there is a way to protect you.
Chitose-san stopped crossing his arms and smiled.
You wear the feather of Kurama to keep weak Ayakashi away.
Right. I looked at the feather. Chitose-san took a deep breath and revealed his wings.
It is quite squeezy when I spread my wings in this room.
Chitose-san made a bitter face and stood up. He's gonna give me one of his feathers? Is it more powerful than Yamabuki's?
I shall give you the feather of Otago Tengu.
He reached out behind and pulled out a feather. Your feather, Chitose-san? I received it and stared at it.
As the feather of the head of the Tengu, it shall have more power than Kurama's.
I will add this to my necklace. Thank you. Now I have 2 Tengu feathers.
And I shall form a shield around your mansion. I will do this after I take you back.
Saying so, he walked to the entrance and I followed.
Oh, you must return quickly. The mansion will be panicked by now.
The east sky was getting bright. I breathed in the crisp air of the morning and narrowed my eyes.
Sumire, your hand.
Yes. He reached his hand out and I took it. He held me tight and spread his wings. He flew into the morning mist and headed to the city. And we faded off into the distance. And skipped a little tiny bit.
You are working very hard on your dance.
I looked back at his words. I don't want to embarrass myself on the day of the festival. Chitose-san had a spell of invisibility upon him, so no others could see him. During dance practice, he was watching me, smiling all the time.
It would be magnificent to see you in this kimono.
Chitose-san stood up from the cushion and walked over to the kimono. I'm actually really liking Chitose a lot better than Yamabuki because he's not that awkward, shy guy, you know? He's very personable, but not in that seemingly womanizing way. Like, initially I got that womanizing kind of feeling about him, like Iki from Amnesia, but not at all now. Now he's just a cool guy. You're exaggerating.
I'm just saying what I thought. Scarlet and light blue. It would match fine with your white skin.
You would like to come see me, Chitose-san?
I would love to, but the palace is quite close to Onmyoro.
That is so hard to pronounce. Onmyoro. Whatever. Alright, I'm sorry. I lacked thoughtfulness. The day of the festival, many noble councils, and even the emperor would come. Powerful Onmyoji and Jinki-kan would be around him. It would be chaos if Chitose-san showed up.
I will cherish your invitation, though.
Chitose-san returned to his cushion.
You said that Onmyoji performed an incantation, but the shield is stronger as well.
Chitose-san looked around and made a remark. Nobody realized the shield that you created. It says Yamabuki, but I think it's Chitose that says this.
Who do you think I am? I know well enough not to let humans find out.
Chitose-san was fine inside the shield because he was strong.
Although the mansion is protected by 2 shields, I'm concerned that the fox has not shown up.
I nodded at Chitose-san's frown. Asahi-san hasn't come ever since.
It's hard to believe he gave up, so we might be up to something.
Chitose-san looked fine now, but after the battle he was all pale. He said he was close to death, and I didn't want him to push himself. I hope nothing happens.
You look worried.
I'm worried about you, Chitose-san.
Me?
Your lifespan, and I don't want you to push yourself.
I see.
Chitose-san slowly rubbed his chin.
It's very sweet that you care for me, but if you feel pity, I would like you to be my wife.
You want me to be your wife out of pity? His words were so natural I almost didn't realize what he said. In real life, we'd be like, let me think about it. We barely know each other. But no, it's a game, and of course we want to grant a dying man's wish, but of course we also really hope we can find a way to extend his life, so if you really wish... If that's really what you wish, I'll be your wife.
Oh, I thought you would decline. I'm surprised.
I thought it would be another of your jokes. I glanced at him and answered.
It's not. But are you saying that because of my lifespan?
Chitose-san suddenly made a serious face.
I didn't tell you that because I wanted pity from you, but I might have made you give me unnecessary sympathy.
It's a sympathy marriage. It's not pity. I took a step forward and looked into Chitose-san's face. Recently, I always think about you, Chitose-san. I touched my chest as I continued. When I think about your face, I can't help but smiling.
Why do you smile so sadly?
I think you share the same face to Kohaku-san or Yamabuki-san.
Well, Kohaku always tells me not to laugh foolishly.
Your smile, isn't it a protective shield not to let others see what you're really thinking? I looked up at his face, and his smile disappeared.
What makes you think so?
His tone of voice lowered. I can't say for sure, but I'm worried because I think you're trying to take everything all on yourself. His face remained expressionless. Did I make him upset?
Oh my, I thought I was hiding it well. But you figured it out.
I feel like he's the real star of this game. Chitose-san made a bitter face at my surprised look.
I am the head of Tengu. I cannot whimper.
Chitose-san narrowed his eyes as if he was looking at something far away.
Even if I wanted to rely on somebody, my position does not allow it.
Would it be trouble if I said I wanted to be your emotional mainstay? Chitose-san shook his head.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Oh, blushing for the first time, I think. Chitose-san spread his arms, so I jumped in. I held his body tight. He gave out a breath.
I might die before you. Even so, will you still be my wife?
I will. I'll stay with you forever.
Thank you, Sumire.
When the festival was over, I would tell Father and Kagetoki-sama that I wanted to be with Chitose-san. Not a good idea, just run away with him, like I said before. Oh, forwarding.
So, now you involve humans. You have a truly evil brain, don't you?
Chitose-san! Chitose-san canceled his spell and stepped forward in front of me.
What are you talking about? You, Tengu, step away from Sumire. Oh my, an Ayakashi inside the shield.
Father dropped to his knees and covered his head. Don't be tricked, Father! Kagetoki-sama! I stood beside Chitose-san and yelled out. Chitose-san saved me from the Fox Ayakashi.
I'm just protecting her from the fox over there.
Chitose-san sighed and shrugged.
She's tricked. What a shame. I must save her from the Tengu. He's right. Hang on. We'll save you.
Kagetoki-sama took out a talisman. No, it's not. Stop it!
That's useless. They're controlled by the Tengu. What an amyoji he is.
Yeah, he needs a lot more training. He placed his hand on my shoulder and made a bitter face at Kagetoki-sama.
You're after me, although you two are no match for me. I never thought I would defeat you.
Then, what's wrong, Chitose-san? His face clouded over. He looked up at the ceiling, frowning.
I sense humans at Otago Mountain.
He muttered and glared at Asahi-san.
What have you done to those humans? What have I done? I just dispatched Onmyoji monks and Jingi-kan to Otago.
Oh no! I covered my mouth with both hands.
I just have to kill his kin while the guardian Tengu is absent.
Kohaku-san is in Otago Mountain. Otago Mountain was weak without Chitose-san.
I am worried about the boy. I have to return.
Chitose-san took a deep breath and revealed his wings.
I must hurry back to the mountain.
So will I. I took his hand to go with him.
What are you saying, Sumire? Don't go.
Their voices stabbed my heart.
You won't make it to stop the Tengu hunt now. You may be right. However, I can stop the chaos. Sumire-san, are you sure? Your father will be so sad.
I didn't want to see a sad face. But I'm sorry, Father. I'm going with him. I grasped his hand stronger. I will go with Chitose-san.
Are you really sure?
I smiled at Chitose-san's wide-open eyes. I want to be your help.
Thank you, Sumire. It's not that easy.
Asahi-san created balls of blue flame and threw them at Chitose-san, but was blocked by an invisible shield.
You're in my way.
Just by saying those words, Asahi-san was blown away. He crushed the bamboo screen and dropped to the duckboard face up.
Asahi-dono! I'm very sorry, but Sumire chose me. You must give up on her.
Chitose-san took my hand and walked out, smiling at Kagetoki-sama.
Sumire is my fiancé. I thought I told you to give up.
Chitose-san gave a deep sigh and placed his finger on Kagetoke-sama's forehead.
Oh.
Instantly, he collapsed face down. Ah, so powerful! Kagetoke-sama?
I just put him asleep.
As he just said, I could hear his breath.
Don't go, Sumire!
I'm sorry, father. I looked down and apologized as I followed Chitose-san. I stepped on the duckboard and wrapped my arms around Chitose-san with his wings revealed. We floated in the air, and the manji became smaller and smaller.
Do you regret what you just did?
I do feel sorry, but I'm the one that decided to stay by her side.
Alright, let's hurry to Otago Mountain. I'm worried about Kohaku.
Yes! Chitose-san sped up into the air. Here we go, sliding off into the future. After reaching Otago Mountain, we first headed to the Great Pine.
Kohaku!
He didn't seem to be anywhere around. Where has he gone?
Sumire, stay here.
Please, be careful. I saw from the air that many people were here in the mountain. As strong as Chitose-san was, he was apparently outnumbered. Chitose, are you back? Kohaku-san returned, flying in an unstable way. Kohaku-san, are you alright?
Hang on.
Chitose-san caught his body before he fell down. I was fighting together with the crow Tengu when I sensed you coming back. He's hurt badly. His body was full of wounds, and an arrow was piercing his wing.
You leave the rest to me and stay close to Sumire.
I can still fight.
If her wings are damaged anymore, even you will be in danger.
Chitose-san held Kohaku down and stood up.
Even though they're enchanted by the fox, I will not tolerate any more harm to my precious family,
he said in a low voice and flung his right arm. He grasped his staff, which appeared out of nowhere, and made a serious face. Can't you break the spell? I held Kohaku-san's shoulder and asked Chitose-san.
The fox was only a trigger. Humans did not think well of Ayakashi in the first place.
You may be right, but is there any meaning to this fight?
I don't think so.
Chitose-san sighed and made a bitter face.
I am the guardian Tengu of Otago Mountain. I cannot let humans take the mountain. Do you know what that means?
Yes.
I don't think we have enough time to chant a spell to break the fox's control.
I looked at where Chitose-san was looking. Tengu Crow were hit by the pillars of light coming from below and were killed one by one.
First, we have to make the humans go away.
You're right.
I must go now.
Chitose-san! I called out to his back. Please, don't overstrain yourself. Chitose-san blinked several times before returning a slight smile.
I know.
He flew into the sky. Come back safe. I crossed my hands and prayed. People's shouts could be heard from here. I looked up at the sky to see Crow Tengu fly here and there to protect the mountain. A great thunder sounded from nowhere. No! A white light emerged from below and struck several Tengu Crow. Oh! They dropped like falling leaves. Damn humans! Kohaku-san muttered with a voice of deep hatred. Next, the lightning bolt struck earth, and people's screams were heard. That must be Chitose-san's divine powers. I couldn't stand the shouts and screams. I covered my ears. Thunder, explosions, screams of humans and Crow Tengu. It didn't end for a long time.
I found it! The Tengu's house!
Damn, they found us already! Kohaku-san twitched his face. An army of humans rushed toward us from within the woods. They all held bows and arrows. Let's hide inside the tree for the moment. We're surrounded. It's no use hiding. Kohaku-san shoved my arm away and staggered up.
There's someone on the great pine tree.
It's a Tengu.
Let's pull him down.
No, let's put it on fire. The humans yelled one after another. I can still fly for a while. You must head somewhere safe. How do I even get down from the tree? No, I can't. Let's go together. Don't you have eyes? Someone needs to draw attention. I couldn't say anything back. I'm sorry to involve you in something you have nothing to do with. I made my choice to stay with Chitose-san. I'm not irrelevant. I shook my head and smiled. Let's stay alive until Chitose-san comes back. If you're gone, I'll feel troubled. I smiled at Kohaku-san's wide-open eyes.
Alright, let's hang on until he comes back.
Kohaku-san held his fan leaf. Stop it! I screamed down at the people below. If humans didn't invade Tengu territory, there would be no need for a Tengu hunt. You could survive together.
Shut up! You Ayakashi bring chaos!
Who are you talking to? I'm not an Ayakashi.
Right, release the arrows.
Many arrows were shot toward me. Yikes!
I'm not letting you kill her.
Kohaku-san waved his fan to create a great wind. A few arrows were blown away, but a few still flew toward me.
No!
Ah! I'm going to be hit.
Sumire!
Just an inch before my eyes, the arrows changed into ashes. Chitose-san? As I called his name with a hoarse voice, he landed in front of me.
Thank goodness I could make it on time.
He made a sigh of relief and looked back at me.
You're late, jerk. Oh, rude. I flew as fast as I could, you know.
Words didn't come out, and I stood trembling.
Sorry to put you through such fear.
Chitose-san spread his arms and wrapped me in them. Chitose-san! That moment tears started to flow and I cried out.
Good girl, good girl.
I believed you would come. I wept as I continued my words.
Of course you did.
Chitose-san said gently and moved away from me. He flung his staff to repel talismans that Onmyoji threw.
On my way here, I saw many of my kin killed.
Chitose-san looked down at the people below with a smile.
And then you tried to kill my precious family.
His smile made me shiver. Chitose-san tapped his staff. An earthquake spread from the pine tree.
They've gone too far. Everyone here is going to die.
What? I glanced at Kohaku-san, breaking into a cold sweat, and looked at Chitose-san's back. A gold light was surrounding Chitose-san like a mist.
You invaded Otago Mountain, killed my kin, and hurt my family. You shot arrows at the one I love.
His voice echoed and froze the air. His blonde hair waved in the wind.
You shall be punished by death.
His yell aroused a storm. Yikes! Kohaku-san held my body from being blown away. Chitose-san! They're just being controlled by Asahi-san.
No use. Chitose won't hear our voices now.
I have to stop him.
How?
I couldn't answer. His aura of rage was too strong. I couldn't even get close. Balls of flame burned the people.
16 years ago, a ball of flame burned the city.
No. Chitose-san? Kohaku-san nodded.
He avenged Tie Mountain. Do you want me to burn your city again? This time I'll turn everything into ashes.
Cruel words came from Chitose-san's mouth. Stop it, Chitose-san! It's enough! Chitose-san kept unleashing his powers as if he couldn't hear me. Asahi-san must have known it would turn out this way. He would be furious if his precious things were damaged. If Tengu and humans were to fall together, it would be convenient for Asahi-san. Chitose-san, stop releasing your powers!
You can't get close.
I struggled in Kohaku-san's arms. But Chitose-san's lifespan is close to an end. He might die.
What?
Kohaku-san made a startled face. Chitose-san, you have to stop! Chitose-san kept unleashing his powers. What should I do? Chitose-san will die if he continues.
If anything could stop Chitose, it would be God.
I looked up to Kohaku-san's words. God of Otago Mountain, please! I moved away from Kohaku-san and dropped to my knees. If there is a God in this land, please listen to my voice. I crossed my fingers, raised it to my chest, and closed my eyes. I didn't want anyone to be hurt. But most, I wanted Chitose-san to be alive. Not a furious face like that, but with a gentle smile. I wanted him to call my name. God of Otago, please. I want to protect Chitose-san, your guardian Tengu. Oh! As I prayed strong, my body got hot. My heart pounded. What was happening? My body was so hot it was burning.
So, it is you who summons me.
Who is it?
Human child who burdens the Hiei god, what do you wish?
A strange voice that could be man or woman sounded. Oh, sorry, I'm using a man's voice. Are you the god of Otago?
Indeed, human call me Otago.
My voice reached.
God does not interfere with humans. Humans are to forge their own paths. What do you sacrifice in exchange for me saving my kin?
My life. I said it clearly.
Your life. Interesting.
Chitose-san is important for Otago Mountain. No, for all Tengu. He was head of Tengu, and like a father to Kohaku. I don't know if my life is worthy enough in exchange, but please.
It may save him now, but eventually his life will end.
I know.
He may even die before you do.
The god said humans are to forge their own paths. God won't grant a selfish wish, such as lengthening his lifespan. I can't change Chitose-san's destiny with my selfishness. I want Chitose-san to end his life smiling. I don't want him to use up his powers in hatred and die. That's too sad. I want him to be a spreader of happiness, not sorrow. I want to see the gentle Chitose-san.
Your wish will be granted.
The sound of a bell ringing, and my chest got warm.
This is my lenience. In exchange for the divine aura of Hiei that lies within you, I will lend you my power.
Thank you.
Without the divine aura, you shall fulfill your life as a human.
It was a power unworthy of me in the first place.
I have your words.
Somebody hugged my body. Those arms were warm, comfortable, and I gave a sigh of relief. Okay, and at that, we're going to have to end here because the endings are coming up. Well, I chose things that go along the happy route, but I can't reveal the happy ending. If you want to get the bad ending, back when we answered if Kohaku knew, you should have chosen incredible instead. And then the answer after that would be I want to dance. The after that would have been I am troubled or whatever was similar. That's how you would have got the bad end for him. So yeah, sorry I have to leave off here. I may have even gone a little farther than I should have, but hopefully we're okay with where we've come here. And I think this video may have been a little long. I had some trouble recording this because of all the noise going on around here. But the next video we'll go ahead and do Kohaku, and then the last one will be our fiancé. I definitely enjoyed Chitose more than anybody else so far. Oh, I wish I could read his ending with you all. I really hope you all enjoyed though. I hope that you all check out this game without me. And maybe we can talk about it in the comments later or something like that. So I hope to see you in that next video or some of my other ones. And I'd be so grateful for any likes, comments, subscriptions, or shares with your friends to show some support. Thank you so much for joining me, and I wish you all health, happiness, and safety. Dirili signing out. Bye bye everybody.